to another edition of Asian Founders and Funders. I'm Marc Kramer, serial entrepreneur and senior lecturer of entrepreneurship at VinUniversity. Today's guest is Xuan Fong, who is a serial entrepreneur herself, and I'm so glad to have her today. So, Xuan, could you please start off by talking about how you became an entrepreneur and what you're doing today?
Thank you very much for Mark for having me in this interview and the postcard of the Asia Founder and Funder channel. So my name is Xuân Phùng. I'm the founders of the ELTS group. My company now is already going to have 10-year anniversary in this October. So I have become to the entrepreneur for almost 10 years. Um, I still remember the time I quit my previous company, FPT Software, which is the biggest IT firm in Vietnam. And then at that time, I was 35 years old. And be honest, my career path, all of the things was at FPT Software were really great. I have very good career path over there. But suddenly I realized that I want to do something bigger, get out of my comfortable zone, do something bigger. Otherwise, I will regret in the future. So that's the reason why I founded LQA at that time, which is the very first QA software QA and testing firm in Vietnam.
And so, what do your parents do for a living?
Oh wow, my father he's a painter, and my mother she's the English professor at university. So they um I think they also do their how say side job is they earned one printing mental printing firm at our house at that time.
So, how did your parents feel about you leaving a comfortable job at one of the top companies in Vietnam? Because I'm teaching at Vin University, and all the parents, for the most part, even if they own their own business, would prefer that their kids go work for somebody, especially Vin Group, because we're sponsored by Vin Group. So I wonder, how did your parents feel about you leaving this comfortable, probably reasonably well-paying job to strike out on
Yeah.
your own?
Wow. So actually, my mom she's not really how to say like the ideas of setting up because of I'm the woman and in the technology fields is really competitive. So my mother gave me at that time an advice to become the how to say apply into the her ex university and then be the professor at that time. But my at the end, she respect to my decision because she know that if I don't do as I wish and my follow my dream, I will not happy. So my mom at that time supported me to taking care of my children very much. So I have more time to how say spend into the business. So I think m- how say parent they always worry about the children. They want the best for their children. So they but nowadays my parent but also the other parent in the world they respect their children decision and they how say wait for the best for their children. So they if their children make the decision they will support 100%. Yeah. So that is my case at that time.
Well, you were very fortunate. I mean, there's a lot of family-owned businesses in Vietnam. In fact, over 92% of businesses in Vietnam are family-owned, and we have plenty of kids who kind of grew up in the family business and then decide that they don't even want to be in the family
um,
business and want to do something
yeah.
totally different. A lot of them want to do their own thing. I have students who are serial entrepreneurs themselves and come and have their own ventures. And I'm so
Mm,
impressed with those students. What
mm,
opportunity did you see when you founded Vietnam's first independent software testing company? What made you
yeah.
start that? And I'm surprised that there weren't others.
Yeah, so let me tell a little bit about the history of the IT industries in the Vietnam. So at that time, when I graduated my universities, at that time is around 2004. And in Vietnam, IT is not development yet. And for the especially for the IT outsourcing industries, India they are the pioneer and they go some decade before. Uh, and my ex-company, FPTs, they are the pioneers in bringing the IT outsourcing business in Vietnam. And because of I was very lucky when working with FPTs, and they give me many opportunities to go overseas, to US, to France, to New Zealand, Japan, Korea. And during my trip and my career path, I realized that in other countries, they have the IT outsourcing business, especially in the China at that time, India, some nearshore countries. And they have the development company, but in Vietnam, there's no testing QA company at that time. So I think when you start up, you should find out their unique selling point. There's something you are unique. The business is unique, so it's easier for you to start to begin something to differ, make your differ with other company. So I decided to choose the QA testing. The first consider the first companies QA testing company firm in Vietnam at that time.
It's interesting. You didn't start a particularly sexy business like mobile games or something along
Yeah.
those lines. You picked kind of a very practical, useful business, but not something that people say, "Oh my God, this sounds like such a cool thing to do on a daily basis." How did you win your very first customer? How did you get somebody to trust you to be there
Mm.
to do this work?
Oh, wow, that time is very difficult because of I set up my company from the crash, from the zero. So I have no client, I have no office, no employees, and especially no capital. And I just asked my husband to give me 6 months, to give me 6 months to how say find the first customer. Otherwise, if after 6 months, if I don't find the first customer, and then I will apply to work. And luckily, my career path at that time is about the QA testing. At FPTs, I work very actively for the training, for the communities. I build up the team over there, the QA team for FPT. So I will consider the head of the QA testing of FPT software. So I have the network. I have some people, some friends from overseas. So I try at that time to do at the beginning. I choose. I consider which country, which market I should go. So I choose Australia. And I send a lot of marketing email, a lot of cold campaign to the Australia. But after a couple of months, 3 months, 4 months, I have received no response, even very not good comment for my cold email because of my brother, their time. So and then I decided to connect all of my network, my friends, my ex college. And luckily, there's one guy. He's also was the QA managers in the one QA testing firm in Korea, and their company, his company, want to expand into Vietnam, and then we have the conversation, and then we discuss, and I show them that I at that time start up the company. I'm the very early company, but I have ability to build up the team, and then I got the first contract after 5 months.
That's always the hardest, right? To get the very first one.
Yeah.
Uh, how many employees does the company have now?
Oh, right now after 10 years, we have about 700, 800 people. 500 is the full-time staff, and 200 and 300 is contractors.
And how many countries are you doing testing for?
Right now, that is very interesting question, but because it's a kind of journey. We're not doing the testing, QA testing right now. We do end-to-end service provider, service to the client. So including testing, software development, mobile development, desktop development, the platform development, and we also do the BPO business education, a small academy for the IT training. So right now we're providing the end-to-end service to our client, and I'm currently managing about 10 P&L. So three overseas subsidiary in US, Korea, and Japan, and seven subsidiary in Vietnam.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's an enormous success. By even
Thank
US
you.
standards, over 500 employees is considered a big business. And in
Thank you.
10 years, for you to grow to that is amazing. I just visited a company called Apero, and
Mm.
they grew in 6 years from the two founders, no venture capital. They develop AI apps to 300 full-time employees in 6 years.
Okay. Oh,
Uh,
nice.
Amazing. So you must be so proud of having grown such a substantial company.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's because of it's about the team. After 10 years, I learned a lot because of the journey is not smooth every times. We have some struggling time. Um, one I remember is the first the beginning days when I found the first client. So 5 months try a lot of effort put over there to find the first client. But 5 years later, we have COVID came at that time, and I still remember at that after 5 years, I have built up the company to about 200. But at the year of the COVID, my business down half of that, and I need to how to say do everything I can. Try to talk with my team to go overhead that challenges. And after the year of COVID 2020, we recover and we get back to the side of the 200 people. So I think COVID changed a lot of business. And that is the time I still remember when I came to the office, my customer, the biggest customer, they called to me and they asked me to cut down the team. And then at that time, because of the COVID, so I need to get the people working from home. So the office is empty. So the days I came to the office, I talked to my co-founders. Should we continue this business or not? Because of our biggest client, they already terminate their contract suddenly, and they just gave us about a month to terminate the contract. So at that time, it was really hard. And I think right now, after 10 years, and this year is also very remarkable year for my journey because of, the economic crisis, about there a lot of crisis right now, and also the AI, the trend came to the technologies, the IT outsourcing company like us. We have the impact from the AI. So how we can transform the company right now with 800 people, how to transform the people, how to transform the company business, how to get to the market right now is a big question for us. And I love this time very much because of the hardest time is also the challenge, but also the opportunity for you to if you overcome it.
I was wondering, what's the and you remained the leader of the company throughout
Mm,
this entire growth, correct?
yeah.
What was the biggest change for you going from where you knew everybody, who was working for you like the first couple years and they could walk into your office, talk to you all the time, to where you're now running a massive business. What kind of skills did you have to develop to take that leap? Because most entrepreneurs, very few of them can make that leap, and they have to bring in somebody who knows how to scale a business.
Yeah. So let's say because at the beginning, my group is have only the first company, the first QA and testing company. But nowadays we have the 10 PNL, so 10 subsidiary. That means we have also the 10, at least 10 leader of those subsidiary, and those some of them I invited them recently, but many of them came with us for 10 years. So how to develop the people from very technical guys to the business, and then they can how say develop together with us is a very important thing that I really care of. Because of building the leadership of the company, we need to build up the cultures. Our culture, we start from the efficiency. This is very important. Many company their culture is about something fancy, but for us, with this business characteristic, I think efficiency is very important. That means we need to bring the value to our client, efficiency. So we need to work really hard. We need to find out uh, the the bring to the very good qualities platform software to our client. Make sure that platform working well for them and support them in operation in their business. So that is something I'm really encourage my leader to think about what value we can bring to the client. And
So
also, yeah, go ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah, and I think is the culture is very important too. So efficiency, open-minded, and also always continuously learning. So something is very powerful. Every our leader, our member, they right now develop themselves every year because of in technologies, things change very quick, rapidly. So we need to adapt with that. Especially recently, AI is change is came. The new models is were introduced every days, every week. So you need to learn about that, and you need to train the self. So that is something I think our leader they really very good at that. And I just give you an example of one of the female CEO of our group. She's study very quick, and right now she can recognize the changing the trend of the markets very quick, very rapidly. And she proposed me about the new service, how to train, how to transform the organization at this moment. So those people is really, I think, very good, very talented in Vietnam right now.
So, what kind of person do you now realize fits best into your culture? Like when your people are recruiting, especially even college graduates, to work for
Mm.
you, what kind of people do you say, here's the profile of the kind of person that works best for us? What's that look like?
Very good question. Because recently our team member, many experienced people, but we also want to expand to recruit and to invite more the young talent. So for one of our subsidiary, we thus spin off this year called ASC, so AI Service Center, Excellence Center. So the guy, the leader and the CEO of that company is very young. Is very young, And he told me one time, I want to build a very young but very talented team. So what is the core things I looking for the people is ownership. It's very important because the ownership define everything. You don't need to listen to other ask you to do things, but you proactively to define what you need to learn, what you need to do, and what how qualities you need to satisfy and to bring value to the our client, to our colleagues, to the people around you. So the ownership is something we want to looking for the young talent join our company right now, especially this area.
What kind of majors are you hiring now? What's the
Mm,
backgrounds of people?
mm. Right now, most our people right now because we are doing the IT technologies industry, so we are mm, the majorities of our profiles, our employee profile is more about the IT background, but we also have the sales team, marketing team, the back office team, etc. But majority is about the ITs.
What's the biggest mistake you made in hiring somebody significant to be in the leadership? Everybody's made, I've done 30 startups. We think somebody is going to be amazing and they turn out not to be what they thought, and their resume looked great, everything. So, what's the biggest mistake you ever made in hiring, and what did you learn from it?
Um, Actually, my lucky is when I hire someone, they stay with me for a very long time. So because of sometime I know that at the beginning I hire them, I talk invited them to join the company, and maybe their skill and capability is not really suit to the position I'm looking for exactly. But there are two ways. I and them when how they develop themselves and give them the chance to and time to develop it, to develop their skin. But after a while, if they are not satisfied with the position we are looking for, we will talk with them and try to how say in change him and move him to other position. So that the way we are doing. So I think it's because of people are not perfect, uh, and um, and thus the position you are defining they have this position they have the qualification, and they you need to define what is the qualification, what are the qualification, and then you map to the people you are looking for, and if certified like 80%, that's good. But sometimes 70%, and you give them a chance to opportunity to develop themselves for a while. Otherwise, you need to find out the other position for them to work with. So that is my my ways to work with the people, and that's the reason why right now I have almost of my the key member, the core team, that almost 10 years.
Wow. I mean, that says a lot that you've had so little turnover and that you've managed to retain these people and that they fit into the culture that you've established. So most Vietnamese companies look at Vietnam and say it's 100 million plus people. I don't need to go beyond the borders. Unlike if you lived in Singapore or Israel, too small a market, you always have to go outside the borders. You've gone international. And you had mentioned in the beginning, I think you're in the United States. And what other countries are you in now that you have offices?
So at right now we have the offices in Japan, Korea, and United States. Uh,
And
and,
so what
uh,
was the challenge of going international and why did you go international?
uh, that's very important. So for me, global is something I want to go. Why? Because of I always tell my member I like the freedom because of if you limited you in the one countries in Vietnam, and then so many competitors, and you will develop, but sometimes you have the limitation. really love freedom, and I also want to give freedom for others to have their own rule, right? So you should have your own rule. But also, if you are freedom, that means you're looking for no limitation things. So with the business, if you do global, that means you have no limitation. You have go country by country, so you have many country in the world. So, and then you can go one by one, and you can go further, not limited in Vietnam. So that's the reason why I love the global business. Even just a Vietnamese person, and I have no chance to go study abroad. But after working 10 year, more than 10 year at FPT Software, and I had a chance to visit the global client of FPTs, and I realized that I love that feeling. I love the freedom feeling, and I love the way I can develop the company without limitation. So that's mean I will challenge myself. I don't need to how say what are the competitors. I just challenge myself to level up myself, my company. So that's the reason why I do the business of global. And I still remember at the first subsidiary I opened in 2020 in Japan, and in that time is a COVID-19, right? And then I opened the sub COVID came and now, and we cannot send the people in Japan. For the how say that in Japan we at the beginning it's the sale officer, and then we need to send the Vietnamese people into Japan for visit our client, but the COVID block. No flight at that time, and then we cannot send the people into Japan. And also we need to understand the culture and working culture in Japan. A lot of policies, business environment and policy in Japan too. All of that we need to how say develop day by days. And right now we have very good business in Japan. And after Japan, I set up the subsidiary. 1 year later, I set up the subsidiary in US, Virginia. And in 2024, I set up the subsidiary in Korea. And right now we have people over there, the Vietnamese and also the local people. And this year in 2026, I incubate two other market, which is Singapore and also Australia.
And so you had your first somewhat setback in Australia. What did you learn
Mm.
from that setback in Australia that didn't preclude you from again trying to go international? What did you learn from that
Mm,
setback?
wow, yeah. So Australia is not an easy market from my point of view, and until now, because of I experience from the beginning of my business uh, to send to the uh, Australia client. So I think the second time I go to Australia, I will do differently. I think is that markets is have the special and the tractors by themselves. So I think I need to go with the local sale member, because of I think we need to have someone to understand the markets best. So we need to work with the local people. We need to hire them to join our team, and then they can how to say help us to understand about the market. So that the lesson learned I learned after couple of the subsidiary I set up in the other countries, and then I think is a good way to go. So find the local people, make friends with them together to understand the culture, the business environment, the policy over there, even faster and better.
So Did you have to raise any outside capital to grow this business? I mean, 10 years, 700 people, it's a lot of people, or
Uh,
800 people. Did you
mm,
take in any outside capital to help you grow it, or did you just grow organically, or did you use bank loans? How did you finance this
mm.
growth?
Right now, after 10 years, we just go with our own capital. We don't have any, how say, outside investment yet. For now, until now, and right now, we are, how say, invest into other business too. So thus, July, I decided to invest into one AI operating system platform. And then that platform we invest the company set up in US, and I hope that with that investment we enlarge our capabilities in the AI. So yeah,
So you've become an investor. It's its own standalone company, and you've become the angel investor or your own
mm.
internal venture fund invested.
No, that is, I became the, how say, I turned my career path to from the CEO, the founders. Right now, I want to become the, start to become to the investor. So for that business, I'm doing the Azure investor for myself, but we also plan to run our uh, mm, uh, group funding, small funding team. So in the future, we want to invest in more in the technologies field like that,
I
more
mean, who's
technology
better
startup.
positioned than you? You're better positioned than a venture fund. I mean, how much more knowledgeable? I mean, VCs would normally come to you and ask you for your analysis of their investment. So this definitely gives you, puts you in a good position to be very successful. But at the end of the day, you still have to get lucky that everything falls in place. As
Yeah,
many VCs have very low hit rates. Only like 12% or 16% of venture capitalists actually make money for their
uh,
limited partners. And I think it's over 66% lose all the money. And these are like the
yeah,
smartest minds in the world are investing. But I think you being an
yeah,
operating person and all this entrepreneurial experience definitely gives you an advantage in terms of analyzing investments, but also helping the companies. When I raise money myself, I got my money from corporate VCs, and I thought that was the best because they could add so much extra value as opposed to just an independent venture fund where
uh,
most of what they bring is money and some contacts, but mostly
mm,
money. So you
yeah,
clearly bring a lot of for your investments, you bring a lot of expertise about how to evaluate and scale up their business. And you can be patient because you don't have outside investors. So you can tell the entrepreneur, let's just make it work great. We know there's going to be lots of mistakes made here in the beginning, but if we just keep moving forward, we'll be okay. And so I can see
yeah.
that. How has your world changed because of AI?
That's very interesting question, because we our team member recently we invest a lot of time to, how say, evaluate how AI impact to the our business in particular, but also in general is IT, IT company. So um, AI, of course, right now impact a lot to the people. So people right now, they, for example, for every days, you don't need to read the um, browser, browse a lot of website. Right now, you can chat on the Gemini or other AI agent, and then you can they can help you to summarize and analyze all the information you have. So and also, for example, in the sale activities, previously we have a lot of the BD people, the team member. So BD member, they want try to different channel to reach out to the client, and that process it repeat day by day, client by client, and took them a lot of effort. But right now we can develop the AI sale AI assistant agent, and then the agent can support you to do all of the repeatable tasks automatically. Behind it, if you are not changing, you are not have the knowledge of AI, you don't know how to use AI into the daily work to optimize the performance, and then you are, how you say, don't have the job. And then you see a lot of the big giant, they are retired and they are lay off a lot of people. And instead of and then they lay off the not, how to say, the suitable skill, but instead of that they hire the other people into the company. So I mean the skill and the profile of the job in the companies are now changing a lot. So for example, for the marketing, for the sales team, for the finance team, etc., if you don't have the AI skill, and then you could be refired. And then the younger people, you need to train to be trained about the AI skill, and then you can get the job. But if you are not have the AI skill, and then it's very different for you to find a good job. So AI changing a lot. And also the technology right now is changing too. It's not about the human, but about the humanoid. So humanoid, we have many projects right now with very big AI company, and we know that they are developing the many robot right now to help the people. But if the people don't, how say, study and improve their level up their skill, and then they are will get lost. So that is something I found that AI impact right now.
IKEA, the furniture company, instead of laying people off, they're training them how to use AI, so they don't have to do these administrative tasks and can do more thinking on product development, better service, but everything. And then there are companies like Amazon who are laying off people, which I think is more of a cost cutting, that they're basically throwing all these people they've trained and understand their business and essentially um, getting rid of them and hence actually reducing their competitive position. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like the way IKEA is doing it, which is keeping the people but training them how to use AI because they already know the company and the culture? Or do you think
Mm,
it's smart what Amazon's doing, which is uh, eliminate positions, become um, more financially, I guess, successful, but
mm,
you're essentially letting knowledgeable people walk out the door. What's your
yeah.
feel about that?
That's very great question for me, because of right now we are in the transformation period to transform our company from the very traditional IT services and solution provider into the global domain centric and the AI powerhouse. So many of the existing skill of our people are not suitable to the our future direction, and we need to to think in order to, how to say, transform our company, how we do that. So we can either go with IKEA or the Amazon, like you said. So from my point of view, each enterprise, they have their own strategy, and also their situation is differ, because of some get the finance issue, and it's hard to keep the people. But from my point of view, every transformation takes times, and I prefer the way of IKEA they doing, because of we value the people the most, and we need to find out the different training, the different transform to transform our people to the new skill set of the AI. And then we encourage our engineer now, especially the subsidiary are doing with the IT outsourcing to transform their people. And there are two ways we transform right now. We transform the people to be more domain specific. For example, we have the one industries domain industry is automotive, so we are working with the different OEM car maker in the world like Kia, Hyundai. Nowadays we work with VinFast, VinDynamic, for example. We want to train our people to understand more about the car, to be more domain knowledge, know-how. And the other skill set we are train people is about the AI. So I think with that, people will train themselves, and then they can how say adapt with the AI trend right now.
So, as a woman entrepreneur, did you feel it was a different path being a woman in Vietnam and starting a company than a man? And what do you advise young women entrepreneurs?
Actually, I'm not thinking about that much because of I just doing the business, and I think sometimes the women have the advantage, also the disadvantage when doing the business, especially in ITs, because in IT and the technologies industries, there's more men than women. And men, they are very smart. They learn very rapidly, quickly. But the women, we very, how say, passion. And then we have the soft power and in the communication and the way we work with the people. So we have the advantage and the disadvantage too. I'm not thinking too much about that. I just want to encourage the young girl or the women who want to become the entrepreneur. Thus, dream. You have the dream. You should have the dream, and you follow your dream. Don't think too much. Just do it, because if you think too much, you think that the women have the limitation. You have compare you with the man. It takes your time. So just do what you want. You have dream and you follow it like other people, like the human being, not the man and the woman. So that from my point of view. And as a woman entrepreneur, I receive a lot of support from the men. Many of our clients, they own other men and they support the women like me a lot because of they respect me. As a woman doing the business is really hard because we need also to balance our work and the life with kid, family, etc. So I instead of how say comparing and make the difference between men and women, instead of that, I receive a lot of support from men.
Yeah, I find I haven't met any women in Vietnam in my 3 years that feel like they have a glass ceiling, that because they're woman, that they have a difficult time starting a company. I've met many
Mm.
successful women. I met a woman who started construction. She was a teacher and she needed to make
Oh,
side money, and now she has 40,000 employees. Uh,
oh, nice.
yeah,
Well,
and
sometime please
and
introduce me to her.
yeah, I forgetting her name now, but I spoke.
Oh.
I was one of the keynote speakers at a marketing conference here in Hanoi, and she was
Mhm.
one of the speakers as well. And there was another woman with 7,000 employees.
Mm.
And my boss, our president, who runs all the Vin schools as well and started
Mm.
VinUniversity, Dr. Milan, uh, I don't think anybody's ever questioned about whether she had the ability to go and run it. I never heard anybody say, "Oh, I think it should be a guy at the top doing
Yeah,
it." And at Ving Group, of course, I think
yeah.
almost
Thank you
all
very
the
much.
companies are run by women.
Yeah, thank you very much for how say your nice work to the women. We really appreciate that, and I'm so happy because of I. receive a lot of support and a lot of from the men, like my husband, my male client and partner, and you too. Thank you very much.
Well, my daughter runs a very successful global public
Oh,
relations company,
oh,
and her husband graduated from the like MIT of Sweden, and
wow.
he supported her. I mean, like she started and was very successful, and then he quit his job, and now he's her partner in their
Mm.
business. And his father ran one of the largest companies in Sweden,
Oh,
and he was
congrats.
always bragging about how my daughter had started this very successful
Wow.
company. Yeah.
Wow, very happy to hear that. Congrats to you because you have very success daughter and also yeah the son-in-law, right?
Yeah, I'm very proud of her, and she's much smarter than I am, especially at her age.
Mm.
She's going to be 35.
How old
But
is she now? Oh,
she's
35.
turning 35 in October.
Oh,
But when she would come to visit me in Philadelphia, she lives in Los Angeles. My the guy at the front desk would say the CEO is here because when she walks in, she looks like she's in charge.
I got it. I can feel. I can understand. I can feel that houses appear in front of the people like that.
Do
Very
you read
confident,
business
right?
books?
Yeah.
Do you read business books or anything to keep you up to speed on what's happening in the business world? What do you read?
Mm, I'm more critical book from FPT because of the to how's it talking about the culture, how doing the business. And sometimes I reading some book from the Harvard Business,
I love them.
some book. Yeah, but actually, um, I prefer to talk with the people, to talk with the CEO, founder, know the experience, and then I talk to them every week. So I try to keep. I will try to set up coffee or the lunch with the experienced CEO or entrepreneur or uh,
And pick their brain.
their past. Yeah, yeah, not yeah. That was I think is a way I'm learning right now. And I love that. I love talking with them because it's not also in Vietnam, but I also often set up the conference call with my customer at the beginning, to turn them to my friend, my brother, to get their advice during my business operation. For example, I have the couple of the brothers in United States, and then the other guys, he the how say investor and the entrepreneur. Right now, he to run about the 500 employees serving the IT service to the government. And then he right now is that be the investor to angel investor platform. So I learned from those guys for issue financial from the business, from the technology. So I think that's the way I'm learning right now.
All right, so two more questions before we let you go. One is many
Thank you.
students are becoming very reliant on AI, and I told them if they rely too much on AI and they can't think for themselves and express themselves, why does a company need them? What's your advice to college students? What skills should they develop in order for them to be marketable?
Very good question. Because of nowadays, well, I and every days I often talk to Gemini to give me the summary and analysis information of the different market observing right now. For example, they give me the top three notable the market news in US. But I think we need to validate that information because sometimes they give me the information is not really relevant and not really correct. So I often ask them to give me the link if I want to go deeply inside. So that sample, what do I want to say? That I want to give the advice to the college student that AI is good. It can help you, but it's the assistant. You need to be the owner of the work. You need to design what you need, and you need to validate if the AI agent is giving the good for information or not. So don't use them and to generate the result, and then you bring those results to show up. You need to how to say design it. You need to validate it. So that is something I want to give the advice to the college and the student.
Okay. So my last question is, what advice do you have for people who want to become entrepreneurs in 2026, especially in the AI era? What is your advice to men and women who want to become entrepreneurs?
2026 is not really the good year to start something, but I think it's good for you if you still want to do it. But for the in the 2026, you need to observe the market very well. You evaluate what you are providing. Is it a good match to the market? Because 2026 is a changing, is a very, how to say, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a very special time because of the AI. It's changing a lot. The market need is not as you can see. So you need to very carefully to evaluate the market. What do they need? Is this good for your services or your solution? Otherwise, you will get difficult, and it's hard for you to go to the market. So 2026, for example, AI, previously in the IT industries, 2025, 2024, all of our services are running very well. But in the 2026, our service is a little kind of out of date, and then you need to change and need to transform. So my advice for the entrepreneur, if you want to setting up something in 2026, you need to evaluate the market carefully.
I can't thank you enough for spending the time with me today. I'm so
It's
impressed with your success. I mean, how do you even, I wonder, how do you balance it all between family and business? It's got to be really difficult.
No, it's not really because I receive a lot of support. And my son right now says he's right now is 19 years old. My daughter is 15 years old already, and they are very independent, and they have their ownership at study and also at the house at our house too. So at house we share all of the housework. So they help me a lot. But at the beginning, at the time I founded my company, my children was still small, and at that time it was really hard. But that's moving, and then keep moving, and then it's get better and better if you try the best.
Oh, I forgot to ask, what does your husband do?
My husband is he also doing the ITs, ITs. So he's running one of the subsidiary in our group.
Okay. So you get to work together.
Yeah, we work together. Yeah, previously he's started up many business in the blockchain, in the education. But later we decided to how say work together, and it's become stronger.
Well, again, I thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. I wish you continued success.